I got a question from Good Weed. You can Frankenbox a size 7 box? Question mark. I have a question from Robert, and he says, been watching the show for a while and he loves it. My question is about the name Commonwealth Picker, being as the United States is outside of the Commonwealth. I was curious as to why you chose this name. Reason being is that I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and we are part of the Commonwealth. And no doubt, he says, I am a history geek and have been curious about this. Stay safe, stay healthy. Cheers. So, good question, Robert, and I am obviously a history geek as well. And if you watch the show, you know that. So, I don't talk too much about history, but it is one of my other loves. So, it's actually pretty simple. There are I think there's four states in the United States that are actually not states. They're commonwealths. And Kentucky, I know, is one. I always do this and I always forget. And Massachusetts and Virginia. And I believe the other is Pennsylvania. And so we are called Commonwealth. So I picked it for a couple reasons. But I'm from Virginia. So that's one reason. The other is just the idea of it is to kind of share ideas, share bolos, share strategies, just share ideas on how to do this picking and flipping a little bit better than we do by ourselves. So, and then last but not least, I am a history geek, and the symbol, the Sic Semper Tyrannis, is of course tied to Virginia. In many ways, but is also kind of the symbol of ancient Rome. And I just love it. So at any rate, that's a long answer, and I probably just lost 10 viewers with it. So thank you, Robert. We appreciate it. I got a question from Good Weed. You can Frankenbox a size 7 box? Question mark. Yeah, definitely. It's one of my favorite boxes to use. And one of my favorite boxes to combine with another box and make it a bigger box. So Frankenbox the heck out of the number 7. It's not, you can Frankenbox any priority mail box, really almost any, but you shouldn't or can't, depending on where you go, Frankensize any flat rate boxes or bags or anything like that. So if it's just a regular priority box, you can Frankenbox it. You can put 4 of them together if you want. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you're shipping it out at a rate and using the box in whatever method you want to use it. You just can't do it to region A, region B, and you can't do it to any flat rate, small, medium, or large. I have a question here from Chuck Webb, maybe? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Great video. I have a question. Have you ever sold on Macari? He says, I started this month as an experiment and moved some of the slower, less viewed items to there from eBay. They're doing better there, and I have had some sales on Macari. Thanks, and keep up the great videos. So the answer is yes. I have sold on Macari. I still have some things listed. My wife cross-lists what she does to Macari. Not everything, not the vintage clothing, for instance, but she does cross-lists. I've had, I don't know, maybe a dozen sales off of Macari, and it's, it is what it is. I think that Macari is a pretty good platform, and I would agree with moving certain items over. But I would say this. Maybe if you would have delisted and relisted and changed a little bit on eBay, it might put them back in the algorithm a little bit, and you might see a little better action there, and they might have sold as well. I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to say that. I don't think that Macari is a better platform to sell more and more items. You're going to sell more on eBay. But I do think that your strategy that you discussed, I think, is a good one. If they're not selling on eBay, move them over there and see what happens. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen, right? So hopefully that answers your question. Thanks. All right. Here's an interesting question from Danny. Thank you for all the information. Can a thick postcard be sent via media mail? The real question is, why would you do that? Look, it's first class. I mean, you can send it first class. You could send it as a postcard if you wanted to, I suppose, and that's the cheapest way. But I'm assuming you mean, I'm being a little sarcastic here, my apologies. I'm assuming that you mean somebody has bought it from you on eBay and you are selling it, or excuse me, you are shipping it. If that were the case for me, I just would put put it in between 2 pieces of cardboard, slip it in a poly bag, and ship it first class. It's going to be cheaper than the $2.80 you would pay for medium mail. So, Danny, I hope that answers your question. All right, question from Video Guy Allen. He says, Kevin, big fan of your channels and love how much I learn. It's always helpful. Question, it looks like you ship primarily free shipping, which I don't ship primarily free shipping, but we do a lot of items that way. I ship both calculated and free shipping on my listings depending on what it is. How do you decide which is best? Do the free shipping items sell faster in your experience? I can't seem to tell the difference between the two when I sell items. Thanks in advance and looking forward to more videos. At any rate, so I'll answer this. It's a long question, so let me just tell you a video that I'm going to point you to here. It's called Free Shipping, comma, or Calculated Shipping, question mark, or Flat Rate Shipping, question mark, on eBay. This is how I decide. And that is on the Commonwealth Flipper channel. And which, of course, if you're hearing this, this is where you're already there. At any rate, I'm going to put that link in your comment there, in your question, and I'm going to point you in that direction. It is an extensive list of how I decide where things are going, how they're going to be shipped. I will just say this. Don't sweat the small stuff, right? I personally think some items go better for, a lot of items go better free shipping, but you have to make sure that you know what the cost is going to be. And so that video goes through and explains it. If you've got 2 items, one's free shipping, one's not free shipping, they're identical items and they're both first class, yeah, I'd probably give the nod to the free shipping one, but I don't think it matters, to be perfectly honest with you. It's not worth arguing about, and I don't think it's worth wasting a whole ton of time on. But there are some issues involved that I make those decisions. I think I would go to that video and check it out and tell me what you think. Thanks. I have a question from Donna. She says, where do you get the brown packing paper? And I assume, Donna, you don't mean this brown packing paper. You mean the brown packing paper that you occasionally see right here behind this thing. And it's on a little paper towel holder. Let me go get it. It's this guy right here. And I think I have some down here. I should just grab that. Here you go. General purpose masking paper, 12 inches, easy mask. And there it is right there. It's like $2 1/4 at Walmart. And you would be amazed how long this lasts. And it pays for itself, in my opinion. I just put it right on here. It takes up no space. You're not having boxes and boxes of newspaper or something like that. And it pays for itself because I use it all the time on things that I might use bubble wrap on but don't really need to. I just use this instead, and it's really light too. I think it pays for itself. I think it is an awesome, awesome thing to have. Give it a shot. What's it going to cost you? $2.50? Go try it. Find a paper towel holder at Goodwill or something, and see if you like it. See if it's worth your time and money. I bet you'll like it enough to keep doing it. And if it is, let me know in the comments. Thanks. Question from the Colum family. How do I find you on eBay? So I'm going to put a link to my store in the response to this, but every video I put out in the bottom has it's really an affiliate link to my eBay store. So if you go to the description of the video, you can click on that link. Or you can just look it up. If you go to eBay and search, you got to go through the filter, I think, because your normal search is going to search for an item. And you have to filter out and try to search by store. And my store name is Commonwealth Picker. So thanks for the question. I have a question from Steven. He asked, what is it exactly that I'm writing on those boxes? And how do I ensure that the right labels get on the right box? I usually have to weigh each of them after packing and then print the label that match up. So here's basically what I do is, and it depends on what day, I don't always do it the same way. But when I do it the way that you're discussing, I just package everything up. Package it all up. I'm weighing it as I go because I got to cut down and do different things to make it get under the next pound and all that. So we package them all up, and as we package them up, we write on it what it is. And sometimes, because some of the stuff I just know what it is. I've sold it 16 times. I know everything about it, so I don't write it down. But I'll write down what the item is, what the weight is, and the measurements if I feel we need the measurements on it, if it's big enough. Most of the time I don't even bother with measurements. And we print them off just straight off. And usually if I'm doing it with my wife, I'll sit here and we'll just confirm what it is. Hey, you know, this is the first name of the person who gets this, and we'll just confirm it. But we don't even really need to do that. I can do it by myself. I just print them off, and I have the manifest in front of me. All right, so the first one that got printed off is, you know, so-and-so. Let's call him John Smith. So John Smith is the first one, so I just look. All right, John Smith got an Enaman, so I'll pull off that and put it on the Enaman. That's basically what I do. Now, on some of them, like the Enaman, I'll write the name of the person who bought it because they've asked me to autograph it or personalize it or something like that. So that's what I'm writing on it. Hopefully that answers your question. Thanks.